Turn it up.
From the YBA Phoenix Fitness 24/7 basketball facility in Rockland, California, it's Coach's Rise time with Coach C. Collins.
Get it started. 3, 2, 1.
Coach's Rise time.
Hey, it's about that time again. Welcome to Coach's Rise time. If you are listening, I really appreciate you. If you're checking me out on the YouTube side, I appreciate it. I'm here to talk basketball a little bit in between. Of course, I have my main show, About That Life podcast. If you get a chance to check that out, please feel free. Links for everything will be in the description. Also, I would strongly suggest you hit that subscribe button. You're a real one if you stay to the end. So let's see if this show can help you guys out. The biggest thing I wanted to talk about with a lot of transitioning and things happening. Take these. Sorry, take my headphones off. But with a lot of things transitioning and happening in my AAU club, it's been a good ride so far. I signed with Adidas. I'm on doing the stage. Obviously, there's 2 tiers to the Adidas side, just like there's tiers for all of them. There is the Adidas Gold Circuit, and there is the Triple SB Circuit, right, which is the top one. Right now, my side is on the Gold, very similar to the UA Rize. I'm going to do an episode where I basically talk about the pros and cons of each one, but right now I just want to focus on what's the Adidas Gold or Gauntlet been like for the West Coast branch, because I believe they have a Midwest side too. What have I seen? Some of the good, some of the bad. Like I said, I'll do a more deep dive comparison of both sides when I get a chance. But let me tell you what I think. So I put in my 16s and 17s. They're now called Team Rise. YBA Elite Rise becomes Team Rise on the high school side because I needed to rebrand because YBA overall is still a Nike affiliate. And just to keep it a buck, these shoe companies, I mean, it's, their branding is a big deal to them. And rightfully so. It's all a money game. It's all a little bit of exploitation on both sides, and that's just the reality of it. They have to it's a big commercial, and they don't want to see any UA or swishes in that commercial. Makes sense. No different for UA side, and no different than I'm sure for the Nike side, which is EYBL and EYCL. So the program, or the gold side, is called the Stage. They have what's called an open division, which is basically open to the public. They working in conjunction with Open Gym Premier, who's hosting it, and Grassroots 365. But Grassroots 365 is Open Gym Premier. So they're using their stat system. The system's called like Passport. They keep track of your stats, which I really like. Keep track of your box scores, things like that. That's one thing the UA Rize side didn't. So I do enjoy that. The first place we went to was Anaheim. That was the Stage Act 1, and then we went to Oakland. Hey, it's Stage Act 2. Well, I can tell you right now, because I'm a California-based club in Rockland, California, to be exact, a hell of a lot better on the budget, more affordable for the parents. The reality is parents are the engine to all this, and if you care, you want to try to make it as financially easy as you can. That's something that's been a great benefit of doing this. Shout out to E-Top, Dom, John, everybody on the Open Gym Premier side, Matt Kane, the owner, all you guys. I think you're putting in a lot of effort. It's a thankless job, and you're making a lot of things work. Bryce James ended up coming to the game, or coming up to the stage, because I guess they didn't have their Nike YBL stuff done in time, so they ended up playing. So I got a chance to see Savannah James and Bryce James play. It was a good game against Compton Match. I was literally right there on the court, so that was pretty cool. Had a mom that was pretty loud, but I guess that's everywhere you go. But she was right in my ear, and it was just like, okay, lady. But other than that, it was really good. Overall, my teams are doing well. The 16U struggling, 1-7 overall, because you play 8 games, 4 in one, stop 4 in the other. they're struggling, but I lost a lot of my studs, so that's to be expected. A lot of my bench guys have to step up, and it's a new team. Just recently, I had a kid quit literally this past week, and now he's, I believe, going to Team California 17U, and he was struggling on the 16U, so I don't know how that makes sense, but it's just kind of all of a weird take with that. And that's one thing you're going to learn while doing this AU stuff, especially when you don't know people's family dynamics and things like that. People can get very strange and weird, and you just kind of roll with the punches. I just want to, especially because I know nobody's really looking at 16U or 15U. You know, no one's looking at those kids. So it really just doesn't matter to me as far as having to win everything with them. I just want them to grow and develop because I'm thinking of them more for 17U and when they're seniors next year, for my seniors next year and my sophomores becoming juniors. Because the way it's going to work, you're going to have to play senior year. You're going to have to play AU senior year unless you have a JC ready to go or unless you have something in place. I'm totally fine with that. I think it's just the way it's going to have to be from now on, especially because kids are getting older. If any of you guys go check out my IG, again, links for that will be in the description down low. Check it out. You'll see I'm doing a live show. I do an Instagram live show where I talk to different college coaches, Division I coaches. I'm going to get some more Division II, Division III, all levels, JUCO, so people can hear from the college coach's perspective of how all this is going and working. So it's not just me yelling it and just saying it. It's actually something people need to know and understand that's what's happening. So fast forward, we're doing the stage. We do both events. I think the officiating was solid overall. Most were pretty cool and professional. You can have a dialogue with. In Anaheim, I will say there was one game with two women. One was a Caucasian lady with braids. Another one was a black woman with shorter hair. Fair skin, brown skin woman. They were pretty difficult to deal with. I will say I do not like that there's only two officials, and the way it goes, it's two officials with 16-minute stop clock, 2 halves. I don't like that either. I think you guys should go to 4 quarters, 7 minutes, stop clock. Might the games run longer? Sure, but at the end of the day, who cares? You can't have the kids go from especially 17 kids, you can't have them go from a 4-quarter system back to a 2-half system and think necessarily you're going to get the best out of them. And the biggest thing, too, man, they need a shot clock. We just need shot clocks. I'm sorry. There's teams I saw holding the ball with 4 minutes left in the game, 5 minutes left in the game, especially on the goal side because it's such a win-at-all-cost situation. Like, for instance, this is kind of the deal. If some goal teams, like if you're for the freshmen, it's not my freshman team in particular. I partnered with Ryan from Touch Shooting, and it's his 15U group. They took the spots of my 15U slot because I fully embraced working that partnership with him. And Ryan's been cool. I've really tried to have his back, and our friendship has grown through this. But like they said, for freshmen, they're only taking the top 2 gold teams to let them play 3SB in July. 16U, the top 2 gold teams to let them play 3SB in July. And then the top 4 17U teams to let them play 3SB in July. Well, issue is some teams, I think with 16U, you have 4 teams that were 8-0 that never played each other because there's about 44, 45 teams. So, but you said you're only taking the top 2. So then it goes by point differential, but the records are so similar. So not only do you need to blow teams out to increase that point differential and lock them up, but you need to also try to be undefeated. Well, that's, again, where it gets a little tough and murky. And I do think, you have to finesse, and it's not so much finessing. You have to market the right way. There's teams out there that were out there, they could be winning or whatever. I saw them in Nike shoes, Now, granted, the team's there and they're going to let them play, but I do think, it's just my anecdotal opinion, not personal information given, but I do think that plays a factor. Your professionalism, how you look, how your coaches look, all play a factor in hitting that 3SB side. I've been very adamant about what I want. I want my club to get a 3SB contract. I think we deserve it. We have our own facility. We have about 70 teams. We have the infrastructure. We have the location. To me, it's a win for Adidas. It's a win for AAU culture if Team Rize gets a 3SB contract for 16 and 17 U's. I don't even need 15 U's because, freshmen are not going to get recruited unless you're like 6'10" as a freshman. I think this club deserves it. I think I'm trying to crack a glass ceiling. I see where we belong, but I have to push my way through. And the biggest thing I'm trying to illustrate is for instance, my 17U beat Jalen Green Elite. And that's a phenomenal team. Shout out to Joey and the guys at Lake Show, Joey Fuka, and those guys. They coach well. We beat them, though. We had a great game plan. It executed. We beat them by double digits, which obviously bode well with us. Then we did the circuit. We went 7-1. Beat a lot of good teams. A lot of very formidable opponents. We lost the last game. Work hard, play hard. It was they just wanted a little more. They outscored us by 10. It was a high scoring game. It was like 88-77. So had some key moments where we just didn't show up defensively, and that happens. But we ended up getting the bid to now go 3SB. In July, my team will be playing on the 3SB side. Now, let's say we get 2 wins. Let's say I think you'll get at least 4 or 5 games minimum. Let's say we go 2-5 or 3-6 because we made it 1 game through bracket play, whatever. What I'm going to present to Adidas, and if they happen to see this, or I'll tag them in this, what I present to you is if we're able to accomplish this without you, without your contract, with the parents doing it, for our farming system, having loyalty from the kids that decided to stay loyal to the club and actually put on for their city rather than go jump somewhere else. Imagine what happens if you give me a contract. Imagine what happens if you do help me make this happen. Like, it's huge. So that's what I'm fighting for, from my personal side of things. And I do want it to happen because I believe we deserve to make it happen. The overall, my experience with the stage, though, so far has been really good. I think they've been organized. I think the guys are giving me all their best effort they can. Jamie, shout out to you, brother. I got a chance to see you before the game, too, and we talked, so my bad. Don't want you to feel like I forgot you, man. But, stay tuned. Like, we're going to the 3SB in July. Hopefully, for those who've been listening to my journey, whether it be following the docuseries on the YouTube side or listening on the audio side, hopefully you'll see the growth. And at the end of the tunnel, we're hoping to do it. I mean, there's a lot of people. There was definitely some people who put some doubt into me going on this gold side, saying, it's a cash grab. That was a conversation me and TJ had. Other people saying, like, y'all not going to be that good this year. Y'all not going to get it. Of course, we have competitors like PHPS who want a 3SB contract and all there's so many moving parts. But somehow through all of it and the adversity, we're doing it and we're moving forward. I think business-wise, they would be well to invest in me. If I'm going to bet on anyone, I'm going to bet on myself and invest in this club and the infrastructure because I think we could sustain it. But ultimately, it comes down to these boys winning in July, or at least giving me their best basketball. I'm still advocating for the 15U guys because they're 7-1. I think they belong there. But we'll see what happens. Hopefully, this gives you organizations out there some information, maybe a different perspective, maybe now a little more detail on what it's like and what to expect and what's going on. We've sent a bunch of our YBA teams to their open side, like at least, from what I recall, at least 10 teams. So we're putting in about 13 to 14 teams every event that they're hosting. So, I'm trying to do my due diligence to support, but not only market us very well. Check the IGs out. You'll see it for yourself. We're just trying to push to make some kids' dreams happen, and that 3SB contract could get us over the top. With that, coming to a close, and I appreciate you for listening. Like I said, if you've been following along, you're a real one. Again, hit that like and subscribe button. Share this. Help me out with the algorithm. Do the HBO special. Help a brother out. Again, thank you for following my journey, for those who've been supporting. Almost at 1K subscribers. So, I'm hoping to hit that mark. Once I hit that, I'm really going to focus on About That Life YouTube and really try to grow that side too. But again, appreciate those who've been supporting and listening. People have come up to me, shaking my hand, saying, hey man, I've been following your journey. And it does mean something to me. It means a lot. So please don't think I take any of that for granted. Every person that clicks that like button, every person that hits that subscribe button, it is very valuable to me. This ain't about clout, but this is about information that can hopefully help the next generation. Everybody be safe out there, and I'm out.